Are you worrying about having to make a presentation? Well, never fear, the Avengers have got your back. Get ready for an epic ride through the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we discover how Avengers Infinity War can supercharge your presentations. Hi, I'm Professor Kathy and I help students get better grades in less time, and I teach using a Netflix style of learning, and this week I'm watching Avengers Infinity War. Today we'll unravel the secrets of this blockbuster movie and learn how to use its awesomeness to level up your own presentations. Let's get started. Now in this scene, Doctor Strange is trying to convince Tony Stark to help the Avengers defeat Thanos. Tony doesn't want to get involved, but Doctor Strange promises that the fate of the universe is at stake. So tip number 1, create a captivating story. Just like Doctor Strange, kickstart your presentation with a gripping story that hooks your audience, introduces your main idea, and sets the stage for what's coming. Try creating a storyline for your presentation, complete with a beginning, middle, and end. And this will help to keep your audience engaged by building suspense, introducing conflicts, and offering resolutions. In this scene, the Avengers, the Wakandan forces, and all other allies all unite to defend Wakanda from Thanos' army. They form a strategic defense line and coordinate their efforts to protect the Mind Stone and buy time for Shuri to extract it from Vision. So tip number 2, build a winning team. Just like the Avengers, assemble the perfect team of elements to power up your presentation. Use visuals, text, video, audio, or even props to reinforce your message and captivate your audience. Now in this scene, a spaceship hovers over the city and a school bus full of high school students starts to panic. And that's when legendary comic book writer Stan Lee makes his cameo appearance as the school bus driver. He remains calm and he says, "What's the matter with you kids? You've never seen a spaceship before?" So tip number 3, stay calm. No matter what happens, stay calm. Keep your wits about you. Things never go as planned, so assume that you might get interrupted during your presentation and just stay calm and keep going. Your audience will understand if things don't go perfectly. You are, after all, a human, not a superhero. Now in this scene, Star-Lord asks Groot to put away his video game, and Groot, who is now a teenager, makes a sassy face and says, "I am Groot." The entire Guardian team is shocked. Language! Tip number 4, watch your language. No matter what happens, watch your language. It is almost never appropriate to use foul language during a presentation, especially a school presentation. You also need to check your spelling if you're using slides, especially Microsoft PowerPoint, as those spelling mistakes will be underlined in red. It'll be very obvious, so watch your language. Now in this scene, Thor tells the Guardians of the Galaxy that he's taking their pod to go fight Thanos. And Star-Lord tries to sound like the Authority and lowers his voice to sound more like Thor's voice. He speaks with determination and conviction, emphasizing his authority to convince Thor to listen to him. So tip number 5, power up your voice. Just as Star-Lord's deeper voice is more powerful and authoritative, your delivery is key to connecting with your audience. Practice your delivery, exude confidence, and use effective body language. Engage your audience with stories, humor, meaningful interactions, and remember, your voice is a potent tool. Now in this scene, the Guardians of the Galaxy are sneaking up on Thanos, and Star-Lord gives the Guardians the signal to stop, but everyone just ignores him, kind of like my kids. Tip number 6, get your signal straight. With a group presentation, everyone in the group needs to know what is happening and when. So you should either use some sort of signal or make note of who is presenting during which slides to keep everyone on track. The best way to perfect this is to practice making your presentation as a group. All of you will learn who speaks when, what needs to happen when, and at what time. So this makes for a smooth presentation. In this scene, Thanos and Gamora arrive on Vormir in search of the Soul Stone. They run into the Red Skull, who explains that Thanos must sacrifice someone he loves to get the stone. So as Thanos starts to fully understand what he must do, the visuals of the scene convey a sense of weight and emotion behind the choice that he must make. This scene uses visuals, sounds, pauses to showcase the power of visual storytelling to evoke emotion and enhance the narrative, and this leaves a lasting impact on the audience. So tip number 7, engage with visual storytelling. Avengers Infinity War captivates through visual storytelling, and you can do the same. Use images, videos, or even props to enhance your narrative and engage your audience on a visual and emotional level. Now in this scene, Thor has asked Eitri to forge a new hammer, and Eitri warns Thor, "You're about to take the full force of a star. It'll kill you." Then Thor says, "Well, only if I die." Then Eitri replies, "Yes, that's what killing means." So tip number 8, be clear. In the face of complexity, the Avengers need to be smart and straightforward. Apply the same principle to your group presentations. Keep your content focused. Eliminate unnecessary details and present the information in a clear and concise manner. Awesome. We're more than halfway there, and we've covered some powerful lessons so far to help you totally rock your next presentation. But what if you really don't like making presentations? Maybe you're in a program or a career where you're expected to make a lot of presentations, either in school or after you graduate. And if that's you, stay to the end of this video and I'll talk about what to do if you really can't stand making presentations. In this scene, Thanos has all the Infinity Stones, and he tries to snap his fingers to delete half the universe. Doctor Strange sends his cloak of levitation to wrap around Thanos' gloves so that he can't close his fist, and Spider-Man was attacking Thanos from all angles. So this scene showcases their ability to adapt, coordinate, and execute moves that are synchronized, and it shows off their teamwork and combat skills. So tip number 9, master the art of timing. Timing's everything, both in battle and in a presentation. So pace your delivery appropriately, allow moments for your audience to absorb the information, and use pauses for emphasis. And make sure your presentation finishes on time. In this scene, one of the bad guys, Proxima Midnight, she tells Wanda, "They'll die alone, as will you." And Natasha then says she's not alone. Then Okoye joins Wanda, Natasha, and the 3 ladies fight together to beat Proxima. Sisters before misters. I love this scene. So tip number 10, harness the power of collaboration. So just like the Avengers, collaboration is essential for a successful presentation. You need to encourage your audience to participate, involve your audience in the discussions, and include your co-presenters when you're delivering your section of the presentation. So together, you'll create a dynamic and engaging experience. In this scene, Spider-Man is flying through the air, catching the good guys who have been injured, and he apologizes. He says, "Sorry, I can't remember everyone's names." This scene shows how Spider-Man is trying his best to help everyone so that no one is left behind. So tip number 11, connect with your audience. Make eye contact with your audience so that you can make that connection. If someone in the audience looks puzzled, just pause and ask if there are any questions. Make sure that everyone in the audience is enjoying your presentation and that no one is left behind. In this scene, Doctor Strange uses his mystical powers to create intricate and mesmerizing visual effects during his confrontation with Thanos. He summons portals, he manipulates the environment, and he clones himself, showcasing all of his cool abilities. So tip number 12 is wow with visual effects. Like Doctor Strange's spells, visual effects can take your presentation to the next level. Jazz up your slides with appealing graphics. Use charts and infographics in order to present complex information in a simple way. Use color, font, and layout tricks for stunning and impactful presentations. Now in this scene, Wanda has destroyed Vision with the Mind Stone, so Thanos can't get it, but then Thanos uses the Time Stone to turn back time, restore Vision's body, and takes the Mind Stone for himself. So basically, Thanos quickly read the room and modified his strategy. So tip number 13, read the room. Pay attention to how your audience is reacting to your presentation. If one section of your presentation is not going well, or if the audience is not resonating with what you're saying, simply change course. Modify your presentation on the spot if you feel comfortable. Maybe the audience really enjoyed the discussion around slide 3, but are now quickly getting bored as you discuss slide 5. Well then, shorten the discussion you had planned for that slide and just move on. A good presenter can read the room and change course when necessary. Now in this scene, Thanos has all the Infinity Stones, so Thor swoops down and attacks him with his mighty hammer, and Thor channels his lightning power, summoning a mighty bolt of electricity that sends his hammer right into Thanos' chest. So tip number 14, create powerful moments. Thor's lightning bolt packs a punch, and you can do the same by strategically adding powerful moments to your presentations. Surprise your audience with unexpected facts, jaw-dropping statistics, or attention-grabbing moments. These will keep them on their toes and make your presentation memorable. In this peak moment, Thor successfully restrains Thanos and thinks that he has stopped him from completing his plan. Just as Thor thinks he has Thanos beat, Thanos says, You should have gone for the head. And with a swift and devastating move, Thanos snaps his fingers and half the universe population is destroyed. So tip number 15, end with impact. Just like a peak moment in a movie, end your presentation with impact. You can do this by summarizing your main points, leaving your audience with a memorable takeaway, or prompt them into taking action. So finish strong and ensure your presentation lingers in their minds. So far, we have 15 valuable lessons from Avengers Infinity War to help you unleash your presentation powers. Now, did I miss any? Let me know in the comments below. But what if you still don't like making presentations? Well, in this next section, I'll share some ideas to help you get through this. So hopefully you're now energized and ready to give a powerful presentation and wow your audience. But what if you still don't like the idea of making presentations? Some professions require to make presentations all the time. So if you are a marketing major or a business management major, you're going into a field where you need to make a lot of presentations. So if you don't like making them, this is a problem. But life is too short to be miserable. If you really feel strongly about this, you might need to seriously consider changing programs. I did. Most students consider changing programs at some point when they're in school. So while you're comfy on the couch, binging the Avengers movie series, let's take a look at the fourth Avengers movie, Avengers Endgame. Now, this movie has all you need to know when you're thinking about switching majors or making a career change. We'll see you next time.